Good morning and welcome to the Three Ball Podcast. We're just three dudes talking all about college basketball all the time. And guys, March is here.
It's finally here.
Yes, we made it. We made it to March. It is Monday, March 2nd as we are recording this. So that means that we have to recap this weekend's games.
Okay.
And we need to do our pick'em segment. And
Yeah, we do.
we finally have conference championship brackets now.
We have 10 conference tournament brackets. I am so excited.
And we are going to preview all of that on this episode of the Three Ball Podcast. Let's do it.
Let's roll.
A three. Good! You can't be serious with that shot.
And before we hop into those conference tournaments, we got to recount what happened this past weekend in college basketball. And I'm going to leave it over to you, Michael. What do you have?
Yeah, I have two games that meant a lot this weekend because, like you said, these conference tournament brackets are coming out. We're ending this season for a lot of mid-majors right now. And the first one I want to talk about is Belmont losing to Illinois State. They lost 81-74, and that was the end of the regular season for the MVC. So their conference tournament bracket is out. We'll be talking about that later.
Arch Madness.
Arch Madness, baby.
Valley.
I love it, the Valley. But this game meant a lot more to Illinois State than it did to Belmont. With this game, Illinois State moves to 20-11 and 12-8 in conference play, which put them in third to end the conference. And I don't know if you remember, but I was talking about Illinois State last podcast, and I mentioned that with their win over Northern Iowa, they moved to fifth place in the conference.
Ooh.
And the middle of that conference is so tight that with a loss, I think they would have bumped back down to sixth place or fifth place. So this was a huge win, getting them to third. And with the win, they actually avoid the top section of the bracket with Belmont. So the only way they would have to play Belmont again is in the championship game.
Yeah.
So that's huge for Illinois State. And then for Belmont, I mean, I'm sure the loss is disappointing. No one likes to lose, but it doesn't hurt their conference standing.
Nope.
They still finished the regular season 26-5 and 16-4 in conference play. And I mean, like I said, they're the one seed in this conference tournament, and they are the favorite by far to win it. And I mean, looking at this conference tournament bracket, I cannot wait for these games. It's gonna be so good. This is such a competitive conference this year that even though I really hope that Belmont's gonna win, there are 5 or 6 teams I could see coming out of this MVC tournament or conference. So
The Valley.
I'm super excited about it. But Belmont's next game will be Friday at 12 p.m. either against Southern Illinois or Drake to go to the semifinals. Yeah, but Drake's going to be an easy one. Not gonna lie, I'm not worried about them going to
Both
the
those teams are
semifinals.
pretty easy.
Yep.
And then Illinois State, they also play Friday, 8:30 p.m. So, you know, I'll be watching that one. And they go against either Northern Iowa or Evansville.
Northern
So
Iowa.
that'll be a lot tougher of a game for Illinois State. So I'm excited about that one. Then the second game we have is in the CAA, which I've also talked about a lot because I mentioned UNC Wilmington was my favorite team. But they lost this one against Charleston, 79-76. And with the win, that was Charleston's last game of the season. So they finished 21-10 overall and 14-4 in the CAA. And they're within a half game of first place. So that was a huge win for them because if UNC Wilmington loses their next game tomorrow against Elon, then Charleston takes the top seed. And UNC Wilmington gets bumped down to the second seed.
Yeah,
That is big.
they're losing that game.
Absolutely. I'm not
Elon.
worried about UNC
Phoenix.
Wilmington winning or losing that game, but I'm just saying if they were to lose, if something crazy were to happen,
It is March.
This would be the game though. Like if Charleston ends up getting that one seed, it's because of this.
Yeah.
So, but to start this game, it looked like UNC Wilmington fully had it in control. I mean, they went into halftime up 35-23. They were dictating the pace. It looked like they were just going to smother Charleston, take the lead, get the top seed in the tournament. But then Jalen Counter, he finished with 23 points and 7 assists, but most importantly, 20 of his points came in the second half.
Oh, yeah.
So he had 3 points going into halftime, but he led that comeback for Charleston. And, I mean, they didn't just rely on one guy either. And Chris Davis Jr. had 17 points, 5 rebounds. And honestly, I think bench depth is really what won them this game at the end of the game. I mean, they also were 21 of 28 from the free throw line and only committed 6 turnovers, while UNC Wilmington turned it over 15 times.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So that is a massive – and I don't know if you remember, but when I talked about this UNCW team, I mentioned that turnover differential was one big thing that worried me a lot about this team. Because like they don't necessarily turn the ball over a lot, but they do not cause turnovers. They do not have that defensive pressure and intensity in that way that can like cause chaos and can kind of like help them, stop a hot team. Because a lot of times when a team is going, when they're clicking, if you're not able to disrupt them in some way, they're just going to keep going. And that's exactly what happened in this game. And, I still believe that UNC Wilmington has the blueprint to win this tournament. But, I mean, this was a game where Charleston, came in and really showed their ability just to fight back in a deficit. So that tournament I'll also be excited to see. But that bracket's not out yet. I think it comes out either Wednesday or Thursday.
Probably
so
after
I'm
the
excited
Elon
about
game.
that. Yeah, definitely after the
Everyone
Elon
got to
game.
watch the Phoenix.
But, yeah, I'm super excited about that. But, yeah, so that's all we got for the mid-majors.
Oh, man.
Perfect. All right, David, what do you got for us?
No, that game is very similar to my first game. And I'm going to talk, my first game I'm talking about is Alabama-Tennessee. Okay, with the win, Alabama improved to 22-7 overall, 12-4 in the SEC, and Tennessee fell to 20-9 overall and 10-6 in the SEC. And exactly like UNC Wilmington, Tennessee was at home, and they had a huge halftime lead as well. And they kind of looked like they were just going to take off with this game. They had already beaten Alabama in Tuscaloosa with Bediako.
Yeah.
There. And so that was actually, I think, his first game. Anywho, but this game, like I said, a lot of similarities, right? And the biggest similarity was LeBaron Philon, had all his points in the second half and carried Alabama in this game. Alabama, their equalizer is the three-point line, right? They were plus 18 from the three-point line.
Wow.
And that is nice when you get out-rebounded by 15 plus on the boards.
Yeah,
so
for real.
something makes up for it. And so one key moment in this game I want to talk about, though, is Alabama was down 12 at halftime, right? And why does that seem significant? Well, Tennessee had the ball up 14 for the last shot, and the shot clock had already been turned off, okay? And so the problem was with that is Ethan Berg didn't get Coach Barnes' message to hold for the final shot and jacked up a three with 10 seconds left.
Ooh.
Immediately got pulled. Alabama got the rebound and got fouled, and they were in the 1-1. And Aiden Sherrill hit both the free throws, right? Costly 2 points. Jimmy Dykes on the broadcast, this is going to come back to bite them. This is going to come back to bite them. They could have been up 14, 15, 16. Well, it did come back to bite them. Alabama won by 2 points. And so that 1-1 was just a huge play. And let's just say Ethan Berg didn't get to watch the free throws. Well, he did, but he was off the court before Aiden Sherrill even shot the free throws. And so, yeah, that was hilarious. But this is a huge road win for Alabama. And, guys, they've won 8 in a row.
I picked it.
Which is
hot.
kind of snuck up on me, and admittedly so, I kind of wrote them off a little bit after that Florida game, right? I mean, they just got dismantled in the paint, especially. I think Florida had 70 paint points that game. And so I will say, though, Florida's stock is rising, and so is Alabama's. They're now in sole possession of second place in the SEC, which is huge going into the conference tournament. Absolutely. And they have the tiebreaker over Tennessee, the tiebreaker over Arkansas. They have proven that they can beat the bigger and better teams in the SEC. And so I think that's going to carry over into Nashville and a huge storyline to watch. But let's talk about Tennessee now. Tennessee had a rough week. They had a 4-point midweek loss against Missouri and a 2-point loss here at home. And it just kind of shows you how important winning close games are. Because if they would have won both those games, they'd be in second place in the SEC. But right now they're in 6th. So they have fallen, and that's the difference between having to play another game in another day, a bye in the conference tournament. That's a huge deal. And Tennessee's strength obviously is on the defensive end and rebounding. However, like I said, they were clearly outcasted from the three-point line by Alabama. They beat
Alabama
them there.
does.
That's what Alabama does, but Alabama only shot 27 threes the entire game, which
Only
is
27.
no. If you look at Alabama's season, 27 is
That
only.
is low for them.
It is very low.
For them, that's
And
low.
so
I wish SMU shot 27
and
threes
so,
a game.
no, but if you look at Alabama's season total, that is low. They only had 13 in the first half, and they averaged 36 on the year. Shot threes. So they were 9 below their average, and it still didn't matter. They still won the three-point line by 18 points. And guys, this game could have gotten even uglier for Tennessee because Nate Ament got rolled up on in the first half, and that injury looked bad. He only played 11 minutes. He came back late in the second half, but he's very long and lanky, as I described before, and his leg got up under an Alabama guy, and it was just you could only see his knee, and it's just him screaming. It was gross watch, but we're glad he's back. We didn't need another injury, but
For real.
this is a huge week for both the teams coming up. Alabama has a road game at Georgia for their next game, and Tennessee has a road game at South Carolina. They're both jockeying for standing at this point
Yeah.
in the SEC tournament. So we'll see how that goes. Tennessee's road game's a little easier than Alabama's,
Yeah,
but
South Carolina is dookie right now.
but I
The
will
worst
say
team in the SEC.
Alabama should win that game in Athens. They
Yeah.
should win that game.
It'll be a good game.
It will be a good game. And this was also a good game. My second game of the night was Gonzaga at St. Mary's.
Yep.
And so with the win, St. Mary's improves to 27-4 overall, 16-2 in the West Coast Conference, and Gonzaga falls to 28-3, 16-2 as well, which shows that these are both the top two teams. Once again, in the West Coast Conference.
Yep.
It's kind of wild that the last year and probably the first year of the tournament, like they've shared the 1 seed. I feel like it's that way every year. And so this loss, I just want to start that this loss is just brutal for the West Coast Conference. Like the Pac-12 is stealing Gonzaga. We've talked about that like 10 times. But this was the last time they're going to go to Moraga as a member as the West Coast Conference. And let's just say the St. Mary's fans let them know about it.
Yeah, they did.
They were pissed. Like, and it makes sense. Like,
Yep.
I get money in the Pac-12 and them trying to claim it still as a power conference. So you got to take that shot if you get the opportunity. But it's ruining the Mountain West and the West Coast Conference, and it's sad to see because those have been two very good basketball-heavy conferences. And so we'll see. St. Mary's, guys, they were down 6 at half, and it just went back and forth. In the second half, though, they exploded. And the night belonged to Mikey Lewis, who had 31 of their 70 points, which is almost 50%. Guys, he had 7 threes, and he's from Oakland, which is near St. Mary's in the Bay Area. And so it was just really cool to see him fired up. Gonzaga cut the lead to 6 at one point in the second half, which is kind of crazy me saying that because they were up 7 to start the half. But it got ugly after that. St. Mary's went on an 11-0 run, 3 threes, 2 of them by Mikey Lewis, extended the lead to 17, and it was over. It felt like Gonzaga had Graham Ike, and that was it. They had no one else.
It's been that way
And it's
a
been
lot
that
of the
way
season.
all year. And it got to my next point of like, this Gonzaga team, yes, they're 28-3, but it does not feel like the typical 28-3 Gonzaga teams.
That's what I've been saying all season.
Their lack of depth and their lack of guard play really scares me. I mean, also Braden Huff is still not healthy.
Yep.
Like that hurts a lot. Graham Ike's having to carry the load all over his shoulders, and that's hard to do for a post player in this day and age of college basketball. And so, like I said, I don't know how much I love either one of these teams called March, to be honest with you. I've never huge on St. Mary's.
Same.
I'm never huge on
Not
them.
either.
But I will say, I think Gonzaga has the higher ceiling in March still. But I wouldn't trust either of these teams in March. And so, speaking of March, their conference tournament is their next games. Like, they don't have anything left in the regular season.
Yeah, their bracket's out now.
Their bracket is out,
Gonzaga has the 1 seed. St. Mary's has 2 seed.
which is probably what everyone predicted in the
That's-
preseason.
yep.
And so, yeah, that'll be interesting to see if they could have, because Santa Clara is also factored in there a little
3
bit
seed.
too as a
Yep.
3 seed, and they're kind of on the bubble as an at-large. And so, that conference tournament will be good, and Gonzaga and St. Mary's was good as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for that, David. And now I get to cover 2 blowouts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
you do.
go in the ACC.
Exciting games.
The biggest games of the ACC were not very entertaining.
Big
this
games
week,
for you, though.
But they were big
They
games
were.
for you.
They were. But yeah, we're gonna zoom through these very quickly because honestly, there's not much to talk about, especially in this first game. You know, Duke, Virginia, an ACC power matchup that I really thought was going to be much more entertaining than it was. I even picked Virginia to win.
Yeah.
So you would be surprised when Duke wins 77-51.
Yep.
Virginia looking like the Virginia of old, but
Yeah.
they don't have the
Yeah,
defense
51
to back it up.
points.
51 points is absurd. And then Duke improves to 27-2, 15-1 in the ACC, and Virginia is now 25-4, 13-3 in the ACC. Obviously, this isn't a bad loss at Duke at Cameron. 26 points is insane. I just did not even think that at all. Duke obviously now is practically in sole possession of the ACC.
Yep.
If they get one more win, I'm going to assume that they do that because
Yeah.
they're the
I
best
would
team
assume
in
that.
basketball
Yeah.
right now. So I think that they got this. They were led by Isaiah Evans again. I mean, he's been fantastic recently. 15
Yes.
points, 5 threes. Just a great player overall for Duke. And what I was really impressed with is their defense because
Yes.
this Virginia team is really, really good at shooting that 3, and they were held to 29% overall from the field and 20% from 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
20%. That's
20.
crazy.
So holding a Virginia team like that, a very high-powered offense,
Yep.
251 points, that's a statement right there
Yes, it is.
from the Duke Blue Devils. And obviously this game was in Cameron Indoor at Duke, so I'm not going to count Virginia out or anything, but I really wish that I saw more of what they've displayed this entire season, which spurred me to pick them in the first place.
Yeah,
No,
fair.
that's fair. Again, I don't think either of us saw this coming.
No.
I did think Duke was going to win, but not by that much.
I think that
26
I
points
thought
is
like
crazy.
10 to 12. Like that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's a fair
reasonable.
assumption.
That's what I was thinking. Was 10 to 12. I did not think I would
26.
see
20.
Duke's walk-ons with 2 minutes left. in
Yeah,
the
that's
game.
I
absolutely
agree.
insane.
Yeah, but I mean, it just shows you why Duke is the best team in the ACC.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And now Duke's next game is at NC State, which I think that the way that NC State's playing, Duke should be claiming that ACC title.
I have a gnarly stat about that game. You want to hear it?
Give
Go
me one
for it.
sec.
Okay.
Next game for Virginia is Tuesday at home against Wake Forest. So that's going to be interesting. But what's your stat?
Okay, so Duke has won 2 national championships in Indianapolis. Okay. There's the Final Four this year's in Indianapolis.
Right.
2010 and 2015. They both went to Raleigh, both those years. They lost to NC State in 2010. They lost to NC State in 2015. So all the freaking Duke heads on Twitter are saying we have to lose in Raleigh on Monday because
That's
we're playing
amazing.
in Indianapolis. And I don't care if, like, we'll go beat Carolina for the ACC regular season title.
Yeah.
But if we beat NC State and Raleigh, we're not going to win the Natty. Like, that is literally what
That
they're
is
saying
so
on Twitter.
funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny to bring
You heard
up.
it here first. If NC State wins, Duke's winning the national
Yep.
title.
No, if NC State wins,
That's
Duke is winning the national
And if
title.
Duke wins, do not pick Duke to win the national championship. That is
yeah.
the only decision you need.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty gnarly stat.
That's hilarious. But I think that's going to be a blowout. Just like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
game was a blowout.
Yeah, NC State's played in like 15 blowouts recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they haven't been on the side of them.
No, except for Carolina.
Yeah, that's
That's
very
it.
true. Well, guys, now we got to
Speaking of
talk
a
about
blowout.
we
That's some bad
got to
news.
talk about another game. Our SMU Mustangs. We are recording this inside of SMU.
Yeah.
SMU goes on the road to Stanford and they lose 95 to 75.
And it wasn't even a Buka, man.
And like,
No.
okay. Stanford improves to 18 and 11 overall. We'll talk about this game. Don't worry. 7-9 in the ACC. Still on the bubble out. Don't really have high hopes for them. This win saves their fate at the very least, but we'll see what Stanford can put together. SMU now falls to 19 and 10, 8 and 8 in the ACC. Great job, Stanford. I mean, they're 2-0 on the week. They were led by a former walk-on, Benny Guler.
Gaylor was balling.
Yeah, he was 7 and 11 from the 3-point
He's
line.
the dude who hit
nice.
the
He had 30 points.
the dude who hit the 3 against St. Louis.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
corner.
it's SMU's 3-point defense. I would love if we could look this up.
Oh, it's abysmal.
I think
Let
that
me
it's
see.
like in the 250s in the country.
Yeah,
the
it's
amount
bad.
of 3-pointers that opposing teams get off on SMU
9 plus
is
every
terrible.
game.
Okay, they let up the third most 3-point attempts per field goal attempts. 47%
In the country?
in the whole country. The third
362nd.
most.
Yeah.
Or actually, sorry. The
Oh.
13th most.
Okay.
Okay.
Still,
That's
still
bad.
top 15. Sorry, I can't read.
So 352nd.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, it's absolutely
Probably worse
wild.
for Power 5.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Way worse. Mississippi Valley
It's
State's
crazy.
probably up there somewhere.
I mean, it's worse
so-
than the ACC by far.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
that's-
50% in the ACC, like during in conference play.
50% of
50%.
opponent shots.
Yep, in
that
conference
is
play.
ridiculous. Well,
crazy.
Stanford obviously looked at Kim Bomb because
Yes.
because they chucked up a ton of threes and they all went in basically.
Yeah.
And SMU was in foul trouble and we just couldn't work it out. And now we're hovering the bubble.
Shocker.
We were
It's a
supposed to
bummer.
be an 8 seed and now
It's
we're
a
hovering the
bummer.
bubble.
Yeah.
So
Right
isn't
there with
that just
A&M.
Fantastic. SMU's next game is against Miami at
Yeah,
home, and that's a
big one.
that is a must-win
Yep.
game. Imagine if this SMU team lost to Louisville at home.
Yeah, for
that
real.
would be
Or Carolina.
it would be dangerous season for Andy Enfield right now. But I mean, we need guys like Jerron Pierre, we need guys like Corey Washington, we need guys like Boobie Miller and Smet. We need all of them to step up in the absence of BJ Edwards.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I think that he's going to be out the rest of the year. I don't think he's going to play in the tournament.
Oh, that's such a bummer.
That's so good for our defense, guys.
Oh, yeah,
so
great.
The one game
That's sarcasm.
The one game that BJ Edwards is out, we let up like
95.
Yeah.
95 and a million.
I mean, you got to
threes.
think, too, with you were talking about all the other outcomes of games. NC State, Boopie's half-court shot. If that doesn't go in,
Virginia Tech, yeah, dude,
that's a
that-
different conversation,
Literally, completely different.
Completely.
So, we're SMU. We're just trying to limp our way into the tournament. Stanford's just trying to get in. So we will see what happens there. Stanford's next game is at Notre Dame, which you would think that that's easy, but Notre Dame had an upset of their own. So I don't even know what's happening in the ACC anymore, guys.
Yeah.
Every pick that I do for the ACC is wrong.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me.
It's becoming the whack.
Yeah, it is absolutely insane.
No, and one last thing about, I wish we could show a visual of this, but about how good our offense is for SMU compared to bad our defense is. Okay, this is KenPom, Adam.
Yep.
The line is the neutral ground. Look how much more offense-dependent SMU is compared to every other team in the conference. Like, we rely solely on offense compared to everyone else.
I'll put that. I can put that up.
Yeah,
sure.
It's like Clemson, Duke, like they're like more defense dependent. Everyone else is relatively, even Louisville. Louisville's got kind of good defense. We have no defense. Like
Or the furthest to the offense side.
and it's not even close.
I think that if SMU is like some ridiculous stat when they score above 80 points, they like only have like 4 losses or something. But when they score under 80 points, it's like that's the line where
That's
SMU
it.
needs
the fact
to
it's
get to.
80 is gnarly.
That's
Like,
also crazy.
yeah.
So like if SMU doesn't score, we lose, and that's what we did.
I mean, that's been the whole year.
we didn't score. It is ridiculous, man.
And
But
BJ Edwards doesn't affect scoring. I love him to death, but like
not as much as
not as much
others.
as like when we missed Boopy last year, right? That was a big excuse. We couldn't find the hole without Boopy last year.
Yeah.
But like we gotta get going, man.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Very tough loss for the Mustangs on the road in Palo Alto. And guys, another team that's kind of had a couple of rough losses
Yeah,
recently
for real.
is Purdue.
Uh-huh.
And David, you're going to cover that in our game of the week, and that's coming up right now. David, what do you have?
Guys, this is a huge win for Michigan State on the road. They improved to 23-5 overall and 13-4 in the Big Ten. And Purdue, same exact record, 23-5, 14-4 overall. And guys, this was Michigan State's first win at Purdue since 2014.
Nice.
So that is huge, their ability to win. And we always joke about being able to win at home. Guys, Purdue has 5 losses this year, 4 are at home.
That's ridiculous.
And it's like,
yikes.
That is
and so
ridiculous.
their ability to win on the road is great because the conference tournament game, the conference games are not played in Mackey. But like,
Yeah, but still.
I mean,
home
they-
losses, that's tough.
guys, but I will say their losses are Iowa State, Michigan, Illinois,
Okay.
and Michigan State.
yeah,
That's
but
fair.
you expect Purdue to get
At least
get
get 2 of those.
My
two of
problem
those.
is not being able to win an elite game with an advantage being at home. That's
Yes.
that's my
yes.
problem
That's
with
concerning.
No, it is concerning. But let's talk about the winners. Let's talk about Michigan State. Guys, this is huge for them. And they had an amazing second half. They were down at halftime, and this game went back and forth, 12 total lead changes in all. Purdue, like I said, was up 3 at half. However, the second half, Michigan State, they dominated on the glass, and that was kind of evident throughout
what
the
they
whole
do.
game. It's what they do. They get second chances to get rebounds, and Jeremy Fears controls the pace. And guys, the biggest hiccup in Michigan State is their offense.
Yep.
And they were up by 7 with 4 minutes left and only made 2 shots the rest of the game. 4 points in 4 minutes, but they got it. They held it done because of how good their defense is. And Purdue is one of the top offenses in KenPom. Like, clearly, they're up there with Illinois. I mean, up there. Like, I think they're second or third in the country. Guys, Michigan State held them to 74 points, which is like has to be a season low for Purdue. And this is just wild to think because Michigan State, I feel like, is being kind of overlooked because they don't have elite offensively. But they had an amazing week. They won 2 quad 1 road games. I mean, they're sneaking up. They're 25-4, and Izzo dominates in March. So we'll see how they do in their ceiling. And I was kind of and guys, one last thing about Purdue. 4 players were in double figures, but their leading scorer was Braden Smith with 12, right? Oscar Clough had 10, TKR had 10, and Jack Benter had 11. And so that's just not going to get it done. Like, the volume is great, but you got to get more than 12 points from your leading scorer. And so
Absolutely.
Purdue is definitely not playing their best basketball headed to the Big Ten tournament into March. And it kind of makes me wonder, guys, not to put you all on the spot, but like, who do you think has a higher ceiling right now?
Ooh.
Because like, I think that between those 2 teams, and I think it's interesting because I think that question could be different than who is playing better right now.
Yeah,
Because I think you
yeah.
could go a different way because I think there's no argument Michigan State's playing better right now. But Purdue's ceiling, I think, still might be higher. But, like, Purdue's got to win. Like, they're just falling. They fell at Ohio State. They fall at Michigan State. I think just the inconsistency of Purdue is making it really hard to believe. I'd probably have to lean Michigan State, but I don't know.
It's making it really hard, especially on Purdue fans. As I was walking over here, I saw a Purdue fan on Twitter saying that the 14 seed, whichever 14 seed gets paired up against Purdue, is going to be licking their chops, is what he said, because of how inconsistent his team is.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Purdue fans aren't even that high on Purdue right now.
I feel like
So-
everyone's lower
fair
on
enough.
their own team.
No, that's true.
yeah,
Especially
is
in
true.
late February, early March. Everyone sees their weakness.
Here's what I'll say. I think that offense raises ceilings. I think defense can, I think defense can help the floor, but I think offense raises ceilings. So I think Purdue has a higher ceiling, but I do think Purdue has a lower floor. So I think Michigan State has a better chance of making Sweet 16, but I think Purdue could make Elite Eight. Purdue could make
that's a great
Final
take.
Four.
That's a great
I
take.
think that's in my opinion. That's what I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, both coaches are obviously amazing in March, so
Yes.
you can't really differentiate there.
No.
And
And both are very experienced.
Very.
Like,
absolutely.
very experienced teams, which is great. And I think the X factor for Michigan State is Kurtang, because if he has the ability to shoot like he did against Indiana, he has the ability to completely stretch the defense. And that's the one thing, like, Fears is not a good shooter. They do have Kohler, who's a good set shooter, but all he can do is pick and pop. So you know it's coming, right? If Kurtang can spread the floor, hit threes, it can really help their offense flow as a whole. And I think he is their X factor.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just the consistency. And I mean, nothing's more apparent than consistency than having to play in a conference tournament.
Yep.
Especially when you have to play like I'm sure the Valley's like 6 games in a row or something like that.
Yeah, for some teams, absolutely.
That's absolutely
Yeah, no,
insane.
if Pepperdine wants to win the WCC, because they all want to, they'd have to win 6 games in 6
Ooh.
straight days.
6 games in
That's
6 straight
crazy.
days.
Yeah.
That is absolutely insane. But we have to cover conference championship week because that is what March is.
Yeah,
We're
it is.
super
It's here.
excited to see the mid-major teams finally get their bids into March Madness.
Absolutely.
And we're going to start it off. Michael, I want 3
Okay.
conference championships that you're most excited for.
Yep.
I want you to pick, obviously, the conference. I want you to pick your winner for that conference. And I want you to pick a sleeper team that you think might make a run and steal a March Madness bid. Because we always have bid steals.
Always.
Every
100%.
single year.
Hopefully not for SMU this
No,
year.
no,
but-
no, no. Hopefully not.
hopefully not.
Hopefully SMU wins the ACC
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah, that's,
Well,
yeah.
We'll see about that.
Not happening.
Yeah, not
Strike
happening. But yeah, no, I'm super excited about this. I'll start with the one I'm most excited about. That's out right now, which is the Missouri Valley Conference.
Valley.
The Valley.
Obviously, like we've said time and time again. And the winner I'll give you is Belmont.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do think Belmont is the best team in this conference by far. I think they should win the conference, but
I like that.
I have a sleeper, and I've loved this team all season, and that is the 6th seed, Northern Iowa.
Northern Iowa.
I picked this team, and I have lost picking this team a few times on this podcast, but I love this team so much, and just with the pace, with their ability to control the pace, I think they could be a problem for any of these teams. I mean, I like Bradley a lot. I think Northern Iowa, like you said, they're in the bottom part of the bracket, so I think they could be a sleeper.
That means they wouldn't have to play Belmont.
They wouldn't have to play Belmont until the championship, and that's kind of why I think they could do it. And I'll move next to the WCC. Obviously, you have Gonzaga 1 seed, St. Mary's 2 seed. I do think Gonzaga's not going to have a problem getting to the championship game. I don't see a sleeper on top, but we've talked about this team a bunch too. I think Santa Clara at 3rd seed, it's not really a sleeper as far as like, a 5 seed, 6 seed, but they'll have to beat St. Mary's and they'll have to beat Gonzaga, and those are 2 tough games.
Yeah.
And if anyone can do it, it's the Santa Clara team. So I think they could definitely be a team that people that don't know this conference wouldn't expect to win.
Guys, I heard Santa Clara's on the phone with the Thunder right now, trying to see if Jalen Williams got any eligibility left for this tournament.
Bring them back just for that.
Everyone's trying to see if anyone has
Pochesky too.
eligibility.
Steve Kerr will let him go at this point.
And then
Definitely.
this next one's one, the conference isn't as exciting, but I think that there could be a really interesting sleeper, which is the Patriot League.
Oh yeah.
And the
The
Patriot
Patriot
League is
League.
one that
The
is
Patriots.
not known to be
God
a
bless
super
America.
exciting conference. And Navy has been dominant
Guys,
in that conference all
get Navy
season.
in the tournament.
Yes, the
I
troops
really
need it.
hope that Navy wins this. So I
I do
will
too.
pick Navy to
Okay.
win the championship.
Nice.
Wait, is
But,
Army in this league?
No, Army
No.
is
Army's
not.
not in the Patriot
Oh,
League.
actually,
What a
no,
shame.
they are. Sorry,
They
they're
are.
the 9th
Let's
seed.
go.
All right.
I didn't see them for a second. They're
They're
the
just
9th
bad.
seed. They're just bad. They would actually have to beat Navy.
Oh,
on
Army Navy
Thursday.
1-9
Army
That
Navy.
would be
Oh.
sick.
at like
But-
11 in the morning.
That's probably what it would be. But yeah, Army is not my sleeper pick for this conference. Let's just put it out there. I love Boston University, the 4 seed. Boston University has, I think, the 34th most efficient offense according to KenPom in the nation right now. Or not like, effective field goal percentage, not adjusted offensive efficiency, but effective field goal percentage in the nation. I love this offense. I think they're electric. Don't ask about their defense.
Right, yeah.
That's every mid-major.
So it's
Classic
SMU.
Not every mid-major.
SMU, but worse.
Oh, but worse at defense.
Is it
Well,
worse
I
than
mean,
Yale?
yes, it is.
Is it worse than Yale?
No, I think they are
Okay.
slightly better than Yale.
Okay.
But the point being that, like, I still think it's a team if they get hot. They could be. They would have to play Navy in the semifinals, but if they get hot, they can win. And I think they could be a sleeper in this
Guys, I'm
tournament.
just ready for Army Navy.
So
Guys,
yeah,
I
that's,
need-
honestly,
so
that would be
excited.
sick. So that would be
1-9?
Thursday if they can beat Bucknell tomorrow.
That's
Oh,
a-
Army's not getting.
That'll be a close one. I mean, neither of those teams are great, but yes, I'm excited about those conferences. I mean, again, it starts today with the Horizon League.
Yeah.
I didn't pick that one, but
Who's
first
playing
games.
today in the Horizon League?
oh gosh, I'd have to look that up. But
Guys, it's
and
on the
again,
horizon.
It's the end. It's a play-in to
Wait,
get
is
to
it
the actual
Detroit Mercy?
tournament.
Is it Detroit Mercy?
No,
No,
I
Detroit
don't
Mercy,
think
there's
so.
no way they made the.
No, they had a good.
No,
better year
today
this year.
is it's Cleveland State against IU Indy, who used to be
IUPUI.
Oh my gosh.
So it's
Aw.
IU Indy versus Cleveland State today. But first game of conference tournament. So
Boom,
exciting. but
baby.
Where
I
did-
won't be watching it.
Where did
'cause it's
Detroit
not a
Mercy
good game.
finish?
I don't even know if they're showing up because they may not. Actually, no. Sorry, I forgot. I don't watch Horizon basketball a lot.
Yes.
I'm not gonna.
No, nobody
I'm gonna
does.
be
Michael
totally
is not on
honest.
the horizon.
That conference, I know Wright State, and that's it in that
Okay,
conference.
Northern Kentucky.
Detroit Mercy did finish third.
Dude,
Oh.
I told you they had a better
Yeah,
year.
they had a good season. They finished third in
They
the
are not the
conference, so-
Valentine's Day
For,
special.
Yeah.
for all of those who are wondering, we're going to give a little bit of context to Detroit Mercy. We're
Yes.
getting so off topic, but who cares?
It's okay.
That's okay.
That's
Detroit
mid-majors
Mercy,
for you.
one of the first times that I ever really talked to David was about Detroit Mercy
Oh, yeah.
versus IUPUI
Yep,
on Valentine's
Day.
And the reason why it was so funny is because both of those teams did not have a single win.
No.
And they played each other on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So one of those teams had to win. And it was just a huge meme about 2 years
amazing.
ago on Twitter.
Dude, that was like the definition of a court sprinkle. I think
Yes.
one guy ran out.
Yeah, one guy ran onto the court
That's
after
amazing.
I think Detroit Mercy won
Yes,
that
they
game.
did. Yeah, they did.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
But every time we mentioned Detroit Mercy,
Guys, that was their only win.
That
the
was their
entire
only
year.
win of the season. That's what I was just looking at.
oh my goodness.
Oh,
But
that's
yes,
hilarious.
Detroit Mercy on Valentine's Day is always
Yes.
always a good bet.
Mm-hmm.
But all right. So we've covered the best of the conference championships that are kicking off today,
Yep.
which is
Super
super,
exciting.
super
Well, that gives me
exciting.
something to do today.
Yeah, I guess so.
Don't watch that game.
No, I got you.
Don't watch that game.
Michael, I'm giving you a full recap on that game
Yes.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Send it in our group chat. I'll be at work.
ESPN Plus.
Yep.
And we have covered the best of the conference championships. And now
Yes.
we're going to cover the best of the week that's already passed.
Yeah, guys.
And we are going to highlight all of the best things that have happened in college basketball. David, what are you starting off with?
Guys, game of the week. Got to go.
Game of the week.
Michigan State, Purdue, 76-74. Big quad 1A game for both teams. Michigan State gets a ton on the road, trending in the right direction. I think that is huge for the Spartans. Guys, I'm really excited about this one. Student section of the week. And I always get really hyped and like go back and forth a lot, right? But there's no denying that Utah State was student section of the week.
Second time.
Yeah, I was
And you
gonna
wanna-
say
Section
this.
of
And
the
you
week.
want to know why this time?
What?
They did their first ever moo out or Mutah State.
Oh yeah, I saw
where
that. I forgot
they
about that.
okay guys, they gave out shirts and it was cow print, like it was some white, some black, and the band best part was in pink. Why were they in pink, Adam?
They're the others.
They were the udder for the cow. And
I
they
love
had
that.
it to perfection. The whole student section wore the shirts. It literally looked like a cow.
Really?
Yes. And they beat Grand Canyon, so they won, impacted the game, and it literally was done to perfection. Everyone wore the shirts, and the whole band, and it's like 20 of them, were all in pink for the udder. And so we'll definitely have to find a clip of that.
That is ridiculous.
But no, Mutah State might get a little high. Guys, they have a great environment there anyways, but you can't beat a move out. Like,
that's insane.
if that were to ever
that's
happen
awesome.
at SMU, that would never
Never
happen
happened
at
at SMU.
But yeah, coach of the week, guys, and I have two, and it's kind of like a topic why I picked. I have Hubert Davis and Grant McCaslin, and it wasn't for what they've done necessarily this week, but they've both had to manage major injuries this year. Hubert Davis lost Seth Turnbull for a month, and is going on a month without Caleb Wilson, and he's keeping his team afloat, and honestly, better than I thought they would do with both of those injuries. So I got to give him a shout out, and I got to give a shout out to Grant McCaslin. Their season could have gone off the rails without JT Toppin, and they've gone undefeated since him. Christian Anderson's averaging like 21 a game. They just went to Hilton and won. They beat a Cincinnati team by double digits who had won 5 in a row and just beat Kansas by 18. So they're on a roll. And Grant McCaslin went on field of 68 and roasted Jeff Goodman going like this because apparently Jeff Goodman said that they're a 10 seed without JT Toppin, which is just like
That's a crazy thing to say.
To be fair,
But-
JT Toppin is a top 3 player in
and
And
America.
I've been lower on Tech, but to say they're
Yes.
10 seed,
Yeah, that's true.
that's
But
crazy.
also, like, I think their stock has to become more respectable now. What they're doing without Toppin has been really amazing. Guys, sixth man of the week. It's not a mid-major this week, but it is still an under-the-radar guy. Braden Carrington for Wisconsin. And we're going to talk about his game against Washington, okay? 32 points,
Nice.
9 threes, 5 free throws. Do the math. No twos, baby. All threes and free
Wow.
throws.
That
And
is
so-
a
That's
Wisconsin
awesome.
player. if
That
I've
is
ever
just
seen
awesome.
one.
Off the bench, he shot 15 threes off the bench. Like,
Jeez.
that is just hard to do. That's just getting in, knowing you're rolling, chucking them up. Because he's 42% from 3 on the year, but he only averages like 8 points. So, yeah, that was great. And so they needed that because they lost to Oregon midweek, so they couldn't lose to Washington. So, player of the week, I'm going with Braden Burries. Braden Burries is a true freshman for Arizona. And they beat Baylor and Kansas. And in the Baylor game, he had 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, played 39 of the 40 minutes. And against Kansas, he had 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists. And for a point guard to have 12 rebounds, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He only played 31 minutes against Kansas, but that's because it was a blowout, and he would have played more if necessary. And so it was great to see Arizona finally healthy. And I think Braden Burries, he can elevate, him and Jaden Bradley can elevate that team in so many different ways. So I'm excited about that. Guys, my mind blown of the week is just off the court. Guys, Mason Clabo is Hall of Fame worthy. I don't think anything will top him with the inhaler.
Yeah.
But this is pretty good. Kip Kissinger. Does everyone know who that is? He's a ref. Yes, he's a referee.
yeah.
And he's really bald. But he is like, he works with Roger Ayers and Jeffrey Anderson a lot. Like he's on the top line of refs. Guys, his schedule this week. You ready? He started on Monday in Kansas for Houston, Kansas. Tuesday, went to Missouri for Mizzou, Tennessee. Wednesday, he flew to Alabama for Mississippi State, Alabama. Thursday, he went to Utah for Tarleton, Utah Valley. Friday, Illinois for Illinois, Michigan. Saturday, Arizona for Kansas, Arizona. And then Sunday to end the week in Iowa, Northern Iowa, Drake. Guys, Monday was in Kansas. Tuesday was in Missouri. Wednesday was in Alabama. Thursday was in Utah. Friday was in Illinois. Saturday in Arizona. Sunday in Iowa. That is just an insane schedule for a
That
week.
is crazy.
And I'm like, I don't even know, like, hey, there's no way you can, like, that's 3 different time zones. Like, I don't know how you focus, but
What a dog.
Shout out to Kip. He's probably going to work in the Final Four. So
No, I mean, respect to him. And actually, funny enough, we talk about Ken Palm a lot. On Ken Palm, he is the top-rated official
There we go.
for this season.
there we go. He's probably worked the most games,
So
too.
good for him.
Yeah. Stunner of the week, I got 2. Iowa losing at Penn State and NC State losing at Notre Dame. Those are 2 games that are going to follow them into the seed line. And guys, can we talk about losing at Penn State's a quad 2 game? Like, SMU playing Miami is quad 2 this week. There's no way those 2 games are equivalent.
Nope, not even
And
close.
like, I usually love metrics, but like, this is where the mid majors have great because like
Penn State has
Penn
two-
State is
two
2
conference
and
wins.
15 in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
That is not an equivalent game to playing Miami. It's just not. Like, I'm sorry. And so, guys, Notre Dame beat NC State, and that's another stunner of the week. That's my second one. And to put in perspective, in the midweek, Notre Dame had their worst home loss since 1898 against Chicago 1st Regiment. That's how bad
Wow.
Duke beat them in the midweek. So to turn
Bounce
around
back,
after
baby.
that and beat NC State is really impressive. Shout out to Micah Shrewsbury.
Dude,
So
Chicago 1st Regiment was moving different in
1898.
That's
Guys,
wild.
we got to find the clips for that for Adam.
Bro, those don't exist, dog.
Nah, don't worry. The peach baskets were real back then, bro.
Not real.
Anywho, my underrated game of the week, guys. This might be a little biased, but Texas and Texas A&M. But it also had a huge.
Okay, let's move move on.
It had a huge impact on the tournament. It really
Yeah,
did.
it did.
It did. Both the teams were in the last four byes going into the week. Texas and Lenardi went on the broadcast saying both these teams need 2 wins to feel safe. The winner of this game will have 1, and the loser has to win their next 2. Texas won their 1, and they have Arkansas and Oklahoma, so splitting them, according to Lenardi, would be safe. I, as a Texas fan, don't think that they would be safe just until Selection Sunday.
I don't know.
But we'll see. But that game had a huge impact on the bubble, and it was back and forth the entire game. Neither team had a double-digit lead the entire game. A&M's press wore out Texas at times, but I was kind of surprised. They kind of backed off after the first inbound pass and just let them bring the ball up the court. I would not have done that if I'm pressing the whole game. But, hey, it didn't work out, but I'm not Bucky, so I don't coach A&M. So
I'm not either, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that game was gnarly because Dalen Swin and Montez Volkatitis, 2 of Texas' best players, had 2 fouls before the under-16 in the first half and had to be subbed out. And Texas remained afloat. They didn't pick up their 3rd foul somehow the entire first half after that, which was huge going into the second half. Tremont Mark, the Aggie killer, had a great game, and he just had a great game. He had a corner. They were up 4 with 3 minutes late. Shot clock running out. Hit a 3. That was pretty much the dagger. And Texas won, which is huge because they did lose to A&M at home. So so it's good. Both teams got a win in this series this year. And to be honest with you, those are 2 of the better wins for each team because they were on the road. So will be interesting to see how. Because Texas had lost 2 in a row going into that game. So this one, it could have been 3 in a row. And I get losing Florida, Georgia aren't terrible losses. They just couldn't have lost 3 in a row there. So it'll be interesting to see how both these teams are in the next couple of days.
Absolutely.
But for A&M, just stay above 50. That's all we need. Just stay above 50. So it's a quad 1 for SMU. That's all I care about.
Yes.
Just make the turn. Please somehow get off the bubble. I know it's going to be hard to, but I hate being a bubble team.
Yeah.
Being a bubble team is
so you hate
worst.
my 5 years at SMU.
Yes. Well, speaking of which, we just got a drop from Lenardi.
Oh.
SMU is on the bubble.
No.
I mean, it makes sense.
SMU is now officially on the bubble. We are the last 4 byes.
Oh, yikes.
Currently,
And
we're
A&M
we're
is
still
on the
not in
bubble.
Dayton now.
Still a 10 seed.
Still above
currently.
Dayton.
Yeah, that's
but last 4 in now are Santa Clara. Ohio State jumps up there.
They should. That's a huge win.
Great win. New Mexico and Indiana.
I feel like the
Auburn drops out of the tournament
Finally.
because thank the Lord. They're like what, 14 and 14?
Something like that.
Yeah, they
I
are
don't
1
even
game
know.
over 500.
Yeah.
They just lost to Ole Miss at home, who had lost 10 in a row going into that game.
So
Yikes.
thank God that Auburn is dropped out. But I feel like that's some pretty important breaking news, especially in the bracketology segment. But San Diego State drops out. Virginia Tech drops out.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think any of these teams deserve it right now.
It's funny because all 3 of the teams I'm connected to, SMU, A&M, and then my wife went to TCU.
Okay.
All 3 of them right now are last 4 byes. All bubble teams. That is so stressful.
TCU has still got the craziest resume in America.
They do.
But back to the segment. Yeah, we got 2 left. Court storm of the week. Guys, Ohio State beat Purdue, and they had a fabulous court storm in Columbus. And a crazy stat, I said this earlier, but Jake Diebler has coached at Ohio State for 3 years, and he has beaten Purdue all 3 times. Once in Mackey, 2 at home. And 3 his first time beating Purdue was the Purdue team that made the Natty. So he just has their number somehow. And that is their first quad 1 win on the year, like we said. So that's a huge win for Ohio State. And dunk of the week, guys, I'm not going to describe these dunks anymore. We will post a clip. Nigel James from Marquette. He's listed at 6 foot, which is Boopy's height, to give you some perspective. 2 foot in the lane, posterized Malik Mack. We'll just roll the tape.
But
Decided to shoot it, and that never works out well. Oh, my! Nigel James! Say it with your chest! Nigel James just detonated down.
I mean, to be completely honest, Boopy is not 6 foot. There's no way.
No,
He's like
neither
5'11".
is this dude.
He's
Neither is
like
this dude.
5'11".
But this guy's averaging like 16 a game, true freshman from Marquette. So it'll be interesting to see if he portals or stays with Marquette after the year.
Yeah.
That will be very, very interesting. All right, guys. We have covered conference tournaments. We have covered this entire past week. We've given out all the accolades we need. Now we got to look into the future.
Yes.
So we have got to look towards this weekday, and we're going to do that with our Pick'em segment.
All right.
March
Best
Pick'ems, our
segment.
first March Pick'ems.
Our first March Pick'ems, and we're going to start on Tuesdays where we kind of get into it. And guys, this is kind of a weekday slate, unfortunately. But Tuesday starts off with Alabama at Georgia, which we already talked about a little bit. And I'm just gonna start us
Yeah,
off, guys.
go for
I
it.
think this Alabama team is too hot to neglect anymore, and I think that they get it done on the road. I don't know what the Dogs have been doing, but I know that Alabama
not
is
been barking.
hot. So give me Alabama roll Tide, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I picked Alabama against Tennessee, and got that one, but like I said, I don't usually pick Alabama, and this is a home game for Georgia, and I don't know. Alabama's a better team, but I'm feeling Georgia in this one. So I'm going to take Georgia to get the upset at home.
This is a 50-50 toss-up for me, but I am going to go Alabama as well. The only reason I'm going with Alabama is because I'm not just the hugest fan of Georgia overall.
I mean, fair.
And
fair
so, I mean, that's just really it. I don't love either of these teams. And to be honest with you, I've liked Alabama more in the past. Nate Oates has just bothered me this year, so I can't get that out of my head. So but I'm still sticking with you, Nate Oates, I guess. Just give me Alabama.
Yep.
Fair enough.
All right. Fair enough.
And the next game we got to cover is in the ACC. We have Clemson at UNC.
This game is tough.
This game is
Yeah.
really difficult because we don't know how any of these teams are going to play.
Yeah, but I like that we're picking it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Adam, you start. Go
UNC
for it.
looks a lot better,
Uh-huh.
even though I didn't think that they were going to under without Caleb Wilson, obviously. And Clemson kind of looks shaky as well, but they're coming off a win against Louisville. So I think that because this game is so close, I think that this UNC home court advantage is going to be the difference. And I think UNC takes this one at home. It should be interesting, though. It should be really, really interesting.
Yeah. No, I mean, ever since Caleb Wilson went down, I've picked against UNC.
Yeah, same.
And I think I've been wrong.
No,
time.
they've proven
I
us
think
wrong.
so. So I feel like at home against a Clemson team, I don't trust. I'll go UNC as well.
Guys, Clemson basketball has historically struggled against North Carolina. They are 2-60 all time
Wait, 2-60
against North Carolina.
That is not real.
They lost their first 15
in Chapel Hill.
in Chapel Hill.
Okay.
They've lost.
okay.
In Chapel Hill.
It's
Okay,
still, guys. They lost their
yeah.
first 59 matchups at UNC. But you know what that means? They're 2-1.
They're 2-1 recently.
So give me Clemson.
Wow.
Guys, I just am never going to pick Carolina, I don't think.
That's
I was
amazing.
literally going into this segment thinking I was going to pick Carolina, but like I saw that and I'm like, why not? Give me
Why
Clemson.
not? You're in the lead already, so
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't really matter.
No, but 2-60 is
yeah,
ridiculous.
that is crazy.
I knew it was bad because the other year, the first time they ever won was PJ Hall, I think, was on that
Oh,
team.
yeah.
Yeah. And so and Shefflin, I think it was the early year of Shefflin. But yeah, I think Clemson gets it done.
Yeah. All right. And let's move over to the mid-majors now. We got
Yeah.
George Mason
Oh, Michael.
at VCU.
Oh, Michael.
So,
Oh
Michael,
boy,
I'm gonna
I'll
let you
take
go
this one. I'll go
first.
first. I have hyped George Mason up so much on this podcast. I've hyped George Mason up so much this whole entire season, but they're going to VCU. And I said, if you remember, last time we talked about George Mason, I said, if George Mason is in our pick'em, just know I'm going to pick against them.
Right.
So I have to stand by that. I'm going with VCU.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can't really bet against VCU at this point, especially at home. I feel like the only team that I would pick is St. Louis against them.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
I think that I'm gonna go VCU as well.
I really want to test the theory to see, like, if I pick George Mason, if they'd somehow win.
See what happens.
Yeah, Michael would just be so distraught, I think, if that happened. But I can't. I'm just going to go VCU. They have an elite home court environment. I think they're right on the bubble, and I think they have a better case as an at-large team, and I think that this could help them. I'm going VCU.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to talk about another bubble team now. We got Kentucky going on the road at A&M.
Yep.
And this is one that A&M has to have, it feels like, especially after losing to Texas at home. But I don't really think that – I think that they're on the down slope just like every other team that you're a fan of, Michael.
No, for real. I hate it.
Except Cal Baptist.
I think that Kentucky goes into – I don't even know what A&M's arena is called, but
Reed
I think they
Arena.
go into Reed Arena,
Reed.
Marcel Reed Arena, and get the W in College Station.
This is tough, but Pack Reed, A&M wins.
Oh, my
Go
goodness.
A&M.
Back-to-back games of the alma mater picked. I'm going Kentucky. I'm going Kentucky.
Fair enough.
Kentucky did me right against Vanderbilt. They did me right against Tennessee. They're going to do me right against A&M. I
Yep.
got Kentucky.
Yep, absolutely.
Hopefully we win. If not, that's disappointing.
It'll be a rough one. Don't
Another
worry
game,
about
I'm
it.
siding with Adam.
Yeah.
That's worked out great.
Yes, yes. It's worked out great for neither of y'all,
Nope.
unfortunately.
But hey, Alabama and Kentucky going to win this game this week, right, Adam?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
At least one of those teams, right?
You sound so confident.
All right, now the last game of this Tuesday slate we are going to cover is Nebraska at UCLA. That's a nice 10 p.m. prime time Big Ten matchup.
Yep.
And guys, although like I really like what UCLA is doing, I don't think I can bet against Nebraska in this situation.
Yeah.
Give me the Cornhuskers.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Nebraska. I think Nebraska goes and wins. So I think Nebraska.
I'll save the graphic. Give me UCLA.
All right.
They're at home, and like UCLA just lost to Minnesota. Like, there's no reason for me to pick UCLA, but I'm picking UCLA. I
That's
think
fair.
they're on the bubble, and historically, for the Big Ten teams, it's been hard to win both the California games. So I have PTSD of watching SMU in California trying to win. Give me UCLA.
Fair enough.
Perfect. All right. Wednesday games, we're going to go rapid fire here
All right.
to end the day. The first one that we got is Texas at Arkansas. And guys, Arkansas.
Texas.
What?
Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
goodness.
I know.
I'm
That
the
was
outlier.
disgraceful to do
I'm
that.
going to frame that clip.
Wow.
I'm going
That is
Texas.
ridiculous.
Now, let's move on
Texas.
to the next game, Adam.
Oh,
No,
What's the next one?
I got to know why. I got to know
What?
why.
No
Not even
explanation
biased.
there?
Like, I just
I
got to
wanted
know
go
why.
rapid
Yeah.
fire.
I just
Okay.
want to hear why.
Real quick, I feel like Texas, again, they're near the bubble. I think they really need this. I feel like Arkansas is a good team, but I think Texas can kind of counteract ACUF.
Guys and Aggies respect the long
I know. I don't trust this Arkansas team. I know they're at home, but I just
Hey, that's
don't
not
trust.
bias for you.
I don't trust Texas, but I don't know. I feel like my gut's telling me Texas. I don't like it. My gut tells me Texas
your
is going
gut's
to win this
wrong.
game. It's
Your gut's
crazy,
wrong.
but
Hey, I like your gut.
I don't
Yeah.
like it at all.
Texas.
All right.
I don't even think I got
That was like
ask,
the
but-
non-definition of rapid fire, by
I
the
know,
way.
we gotta go.
He
All right.
picked Texas.
I know, that's
I
insane.
know.
That is absolutely insane. All right, next game, Miami
SMU.
at SMU.
SMU. I go here.
Yep, SMU.
I have to take
Guys, but
SMU. I
every-
want to take Miami.
Every time we pick SMU, all three of us, we lose, basically.
You know what? Okay, I'll help. I'll take Miami.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
You take Miami
I'll-
too. Louisville.
I'm
if
not,
you-
I'm not
wait,
taking
actually-
Miami. I'm not taking Miami. I'm taking
I-
SMU.
I don't want to take Miami, but at the same time, that's
They're
gonna be
probably gonna win.
it's gonna be tough. We'll see. We'll see.
I have more confidence going into this game than I did the Louisville game.
Really?
That's
yeah,
fair.
That's
So-
yeah, but
But-
we also had BJ Edwards for that.
That is fair.
That's
So
why I'm taking Miami.
we will see. And the last game we're gonna cover on Wednesday is Rice at
Yes.
UNT.
Yep,
Duh, this game is terrible.
Nah, this game is good.
it's a bad game.
Hey,
Rice at UNT, guys.
you
You know
going with
what?
the Rob Laniers?
You know what? There's some remnants from SMU's old coach Rob Lanier on that Rice team. Jalen Smith, shout out. He
Yep.
averages like 9 points a game.
Okay.
You know they're not going to win, but give me the Rice Owls.
Oh.
This is gonna be an absolutely awful game. But UNT at least has a defense. Rice doesn't have an offense or a defense. Give me UNT.
We put this game in here so Adam could say Rob Lanier.
Yeah,
Give me North Texas,
yeah,
the local
absolutely.
team.
Hey, go Rice Owls, baby! Shout out to my mom for going there for grad school.
And your Ella's brother,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever he is.
All right. Do we want to cover this Thursday game?
I don't think we should do Monday or
I
Thursday.
don't think we have
You don't
to.
think so? Okay.
Because
no,
I don't.
No, that's why it's not
Let's not do it
highlighted.
then. Okay,
Yeah.
fire.
Sorry.
no, you're good.
I don't think we're gonna be able to get the Iowa State Arizona this out by
probably.
tonight.
No, there's no way. I work until 7.
Yeah, so just take
Just cut it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Coolio.
We could put it on like the pick'em graphic, just not the like.
Yeah, let's do that.
Segment.
Okay. All right. I'll outro us.
'Cause I went against y'all on a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Clemson.
Picking Texas. is
No,
crazy.
I don't know. My gut's telling me Texas. I don't even know exactly why.
Yeah, that is kind of because Texas is literally on the road.
I know.
Like I looked at Ken Palm, it was like a 25% chance to win that game.
I don't know. My gut just tells me Texas.
Well, I like your gut. The last time Texas went to Arkansas, Trey Johnson had 45. So,
Trey Johnson's not on the team.
well, Trey Johnson.
Oh,
man.
Johnson.
But yeah, okay. You know, outro.
Oh yeah. Hold on. I was looking at my Clash of Clans.
I don't know what it is, but
All right. I'll outro us. Well, guys, those are our picks. Those are our conference tournament predictions. Those are our game recaps and everything in between.
Yep.
We are so glad that y'all have joined us for the 9th episode.
Nine.
of
Almost double
the Three
digits.
Ball
3
Podcast.
times 3.
Almost at 10. Oh, 3
Yeah.
times 3. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we are super excited to keep continuing to bring y'all as much content as we can over this March period.
Guys, it's March. Get excited.
Yes, absolutely. And we've had a ton of recommendations as well to do stuff like bracket picks,
Uh-huh.
all of that stuff. So once that is available after after Selection Sunday, we will get all of that out to you immediately.
Hey, we promised we would ramp up in March. We're going to ramp
Yes.
up.
Yep.
For sure.
So we are going to have a ton of fun with this, and I hope that y'all stick along for the journey.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Thank y'all so much for watching.
See y'all on the
God
next
bless.
one.
Yeah, thank you.
God bless.